How y'all doing? Hey, we're here. Big week at AGC this week. Why?
We got an award?
Oh, wow, that was last week.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
I guess we get so many.
No, that's not a good way to be.
Well, I can't be proud of your accomplishments?
Well, you do, but every one of them is special.
That's true.
Right? You can't just say, I got so many of them, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, that's not what I said.
Well, that was where you were going.
I don't know. Okay, why is it a big week?
Big week. I got notification that one of Ben's friends, their motorhome or whatnot burned down the other night.
You can't say that.
I just did.
No, that's not funny.
They burned down. But they were having a brush fire around the front and back of their establishment there.
Yes.
And it's Fire Prevention Week.
It is.
This week.
Yes.
And so consequently, because of you young people not necessarily knowing how or what to react to when you get a fire or you have something going out of control, you should know about fire prevention and possibly the use of a fire extinguisher.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of brush fires recently with people just burning leaves and brush and stuff. And I think in the case you were talking about, it was just a little bit too close to the house and took the house down, unfortunately.
Went down.
Yeah.
And job sites, construction sites are required to have a site-specific, per se, fire protection and prevention safe work practice on site and available. And you can actually download that right there. Just look right down the screen here that people are watching, and that click is right there, and you can download our boilerplate, site-specific and prevention safe work practices for fire prevention.
Yeah, that's
how many times did I say that?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Huh?
No, I think it's important because I think it's one of those things that because we don't have fires all the time, it tends to get kicked. Training and knowing what to do in that situation kind of gets blurry because we don't have fires all the time. We don't practice that often.
So really, there's like 6 main elements of a fire protection prevention plan.
Yeah.
Reporting and extinguishing a fire. Flammable, combustible liquid storage, how you store it.
Yeah.
Handling flammable gases. Handling flammable and combustible liquids. And then, of course, fire extinguishers. If you don't leave that fly alone, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. Okay? I can't say that either.
No.
I'm going to.
Okay.
So, reporting and extinguishing fires, one, it's really important that all companies have a site-specific plan in front of them.
That everyone knows about.
Everybody knows about. And that if we do have a fire, the first most important thing, of course, is notifying the fire department and all workers on the site.
Yes.
Right?
911.
And then we talk about the pass method used to extinguish fires.
Do you know what it is?
Pass?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pass the fire extinguisher on to the guy next to me.
No.
Say, yeah, I'll show you how to do it. Pass. A pass method for fire extinguishers. Now watch me closely. Here. I have to leave now.
Yeah. No, it's pull, aim, squeeze, and sweep.
Okay. What's that mean?
Pull the pin. You aim it. Obviously this comes out. You aim it. Squeeze. And then you sweep at the base of the fire.
Base. In front of the fire.
No.
And back into it.
I would want to have my back I'd want to have my back towards my exit or my escape.
Your door.
Yes.
Or whatever it is.
Yes.
So you can get out.
Yes.
And you sweep starting at the base of that fire and
Correct.
move into it.
Yeah, do you know how long I really get with this?
Long enough for me to get out the door.
No, I think that's a genuine question. I mean, how long do I get with something this size?
No idea.
You have no idea.
No, what?
Should we touch it off right now?
5 minutes?
No.
Yeah, I've watched them blow those forever.
No, it's not 5 minutes.
How long is it?
This size, probably 45 seconds.
45 seconds?
30 to 45 seconds.
And then what do you do with it after that?
Then you chuck it out the fire and run.
Throw it at the fire and run out the door?
Yeah.
Follow me?
Yes.
Okay. So I like that pass method. Pass it on to the guy next to you and leave. But again, that's part of the evacuation thing. You just said 45 seconds. Obviously, you want to get the heck out of there immediately if the fire is large.
Yeah.
Right?
But
Because that fire extinguisher is only to be really used for escape.
correct.
Not extinguishing.
No. And it's only going to work if you are inspecting it and making sure it's still within spec, which everyone knows. You do it based off the gauge. Then you have the little tag that you sign, which I'm behind. I signed it in March. Whoops. So we got to re-sign this.
Another good idea, of course, under fire protection is before each project begins, the super or project manager should do a walk around and identify exits and identify where fire extinguishers should be.
Yes.
And all work areas should be kept free of debris and other combustible
Dust especially.
things. And inside buildings, fire extinguishers should be placed no more than 100 feet apart and have no more than that 2A rating. What's that?
2A10 BC.
Yeah, what's that all mean?
Well, ABC talks about what it can fight. So A,
So-
ash.
Ash,
B.
like paper and wood.
Yes. B, boil.
Boil, like oil, liquids, that type of stuff.
And C would be current.
Current, like electrical fires.
Like electrical, yes.
Okay, and this is Fire Prevention Week.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and then so we should have at least one of those every 100 feet, and no less than 2A rating for a 3,000 foot building.
Yeah.
Or every 3,000
And
feet.
if we do have them, a good thing to do, I think a lot of people would know this, but tip it over, shake it a little bit.
Oh, that's when you're inspecting on a monthly basis?
Yeah, I forgot
that
to
you
mention
haven't
that.
done for a couple months?
Yeah, since March, but I've been busy.
Okay.
Shake it a little bit. What happens is all the chemical in here will sometimes go to the bottom, just solidify down here, and you get a hard chunk. So you should feel it kind of move around in there. But especially when they're on pieces of equipment, those tend to settle and congeal.
They don't get shaken up on a piece of equipment?
No,
I've
but-
watched equipment run
Yeah, but
job sites.
But what it does is it shakes it and it just settles down here if you don't ever move it around.
Okay.
I'm talking pretty extreme cases, but I've heard of it happening.
How about flammable and combustible liquid storage like you have over in this corner?
didn't do this.
You can't pick that up because it's being used right now.
I mean, a massive 5 gallons of diesel
Okay.
with no cap.
So no more than 25 gallons of flammable and combustible liquids will be stored outside an approved safety cabinet. Am I correct? 25 gallons
Well, that looks like it's only about
outside.
3 gallons.
Okay. Gasoline,
Yeah.
I got some parts. We're working on the Model A later.
We are,
I got
yeah.
some parts I need
Started.
to have cleaned.
Yep.
Should we use gasoline for that?
To clean them,
Yeah?
we got a parts cleaner.
Yeah. Well, actually, gasoline will not be used under OSHA regs
That's why I say we're not gonna use
as a
that.
solvent for cleaning.
We're gonna use parts cleaner.
Okay. But you've been pretty busy. You haven't been able to mark off the fire extinguishers, so.
No, I've been working
not
on the Model A.
I'm not sure. Not sure what you've been doing. How about handling flammable gases?
How I should handle it?
Yeah,
Carefully.
carefully. Okay.
Respect what I'm using.
LPG cylinders placed on a firm foundation or on the
Mm-hmm.
ground, not set on boxes and other shit.
Yeah.
We always want to place them away if they're outside from vehicular traffic and make sure they're secured in an upright position.
Yeah, and you find that out by having some sort of traffic map or an idea of how traffic moves around a site.
Yeah. And then we want to keep the caps on acetylene or LPG, keep the caps on those when not in use.
Yep.
And if you're not going to use them for a shift, then you got to cap them off. Oxygen cylinders should always be stored at least 20 feet away from acetylene unless it's on the cart, welding cart. And if you have welding carts, you got to have within 15 feet of those welding carts, or that 50 feet of those welding carts or whatnot operations. You always want to have a fire extinguisher available.
Yeah.
Right? And that's in handling flammable and combustible liquids, of course. No smoking is allowed during fueling processes.
Yeah, that's big on the MSHA sites. So
Is
if you're fueling up your rig and you're smoking a cigarette, that is a fine, and it goes to the employee.
And
So it's like $300.
and your smoking area has to be clearly defined 50 feet away from those fueling stations, right? Go back to your transportation map and site map, identify those. Health and physical hazards have to be communicated. Why?
Health and physical hazards, so that everyone knows and we're all on the same page. Communication's key.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with the hazard communication standard that you young guys call it GHS, but us old guys, it was HAZCOM, right? So you got to communicate the health and physical hazards of the chemicals that they're working with that could possibly be
And
flammable.
How do I do that? Is there like a sheet or something that I...
Yeah, through the SDS,
SDS
material
sheets.
data sheets.
All right, sweet.
Right? And then fire extinguishers.
So if I go get something that's new to the job site, and I'm not sure that we have an SDS on it, what should I do?
First thing,
Yeah.
is it flammable?
Yeah, extremely.
Will it make me high?
Yeah.
Okay.
So no SDS sheet on that?
Oh, the hell with that thing. But you can get it from the producer, you can get it from the internet,
Sweet.
You can get it from whoever you bought it from. Have to provide you with an SDS sheet.
Great.
Okay. And if you're transporting gases or fuels, you got to transport them according to the Department of Transportation rules, right? And that just brings us right back here around this little circle to fire extinguishers, where you threw it in the middle.
Yeah.
They got to be mounted on a wall, properly marked. They got to be mounted at exits. Why? So that you always have your back to the door if you grab it.
It even has instructions on it.
That would be kind of bad to read at the
That's
time.
That's kind of what I was laughing about. You pass it to me and I sit here reading it
Reading the thing
like
at
this
the
as
front.
the shop burns down around me.
So again, fire extinguishers, really, we should make sure that everybody on site knows how to operate a fire extinguisher.
Right.
Knows what it's good for, how it'll work, and everybody should be properly trained, and we should be documenting that we train people in such. And again, as you mentioned, the fire extinguisher's got to be inspected monthly to make sure it'll work.
Yeah.
And annually by somebody better than you to know.
Right, and that's where you get these things.
Those little yellow
But-
tags.
With what you were saying, if you don't know how to use one, and this goes for anything on a job site, don't be afraid to just ask someone. Because I know it's maybe embarrassing at some points, but it's better to know how this works than it is for you to pass it to me during a fire and then have no idea how to use it. It goes
So-
for any tool or any piece of machinery that we use.
So if asked, you should have some knowledge to be able to pass on to other folks.
Yeah, and if you don't know, you should be okay with asking.
And always, when you're talking and trying to train other people, you always use the softened method,
Oh, yes.
right?
Yeah.
I don't remember what that was.
Me either. I think
Okay.
part of it was leaning in, good body language. Hold on. Body
Eye
language,
contact.
eye contact, nodding,
Yes. nodding.
and
Personal space.
personal space.
Don't get in my foot.
No, I know it's not COVID anymore, so we're good.
Okay.
Yeah, and just be nice.
Okay. And we really butchered the
Yeah,
hell out of that.
I think
huh?
we could be pretty good
Okay.
at the softened method.
Okay. So, other than that, it's been a good week here at AGC.
It's been a great week, actually.
We've accomplished quite a bit.
Yeah, I mean, both out of work and in work.
We've got annual meeting coming up.
Yep.
First Wednesday in December in person at the, speaking of fire extinguishers, we've got an annual meeting coming up at the Hilton Burlington down there on Lake Champlain.
Yeah.
And I understand you're making arrangements for a fireworks show at the
We're going to try. Yeah.
We're going to try?
Yeah.
What's that mean?
As long as the neighbors won't get too mad at us this time.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You won 3 or 4 awards this year. You should celebrate. You should, I don't know, how do you light the candles on your cake?
I don't really eat cake.
You don't?
No.
I always use sparklers to light my candles.
Yeah. Well.
I noticed you aren't promoting any companies this week.
No, I have a Dirt Tech shirt on.
Do you?
Yeah.
Dirt Tech?
Yeah.
You got Dirt Tech down there? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a good call out for Tim and the folks up at Dirt Tech. Your friend in his house, he's okay?
Yeah, that's not my friend.
It's not your friend?
No, I don't. Yeah, doing great, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's clear. But again, this week, it's Fire Prevention Week, and we want you all to be safe out there. If you need a site-specific plan for fire protection and prevention, just click on that link right down there.
Yeah.
Right?
And we talked about HAZCOM. If you need help with a HAZCOM plan, talk to me.
Talk to you,
Yeah.
Ben, at agcvt.org.
Yeah.
Okay. And remember, if there's anything we can do, if you need any help, if you want to talk, or if you have ideas for Ben to talk about during these safety talks, give us a call here at agcvt.org or at 223-2374. That starts with 802. And remember, we're here for you. Thank you all for joining us today. Have a good day.